picture. Thank goodness, only one. And when I got there with my mother, we were separated. She went into the office of Louis B. Mayer, and I went into the office of Arthur Freed. And he was going to talk to me about a movie he wanted to put me in. I'm 12 years old, you know. And I thought he was a producer.
About to put on more weight. 4 times president of the Academy, 6 times producer of these annual attempts to beguile you into your neighborhood theater. Former Thalberg winner whose personal productions have garnered 21 Oscars over the years, and a friend to movie audiences and picture makers throughout the world. Our Board of Governors tonight salutes with a special Oscar the lyrical Mr. Arthur Freed.
Thank you, Bob. I could never write a lyric that would properly express my gratitude. But reverting back to my job, keep the show moving, will you?
Okay, thank you.
Instead, he was an exhibitor. And I'd never seen anyone naked before, except myself. So I had no clue about what was happening. And so it struck me so funny, I laughed at him. And I laughed uproariously. I had tears, you know, and he got infuriated. And he said, out, 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 go.
Did you tell your mother?
Well, I was very quiet. I went down and met her in the lobby of the administration building. She came out very quietly from Louis B. Mayer's office, and we walked hand in hand silently to the car, which was unusual. We got in the car driving home. I said, Mom, you won't believe what happened to me. And I told her what happened, and she got kind of quiet. She said, well, you don't know what happened to me. And Louis B. Mayer wasn't as bad as Freed was to me.
You tried
but he came on to my mother. And so we both decided that we didn't like MGM much. It was, you know, it was better at Fox.
Guys, I'm going to be honest with you because everybody's noticing it. Every single political commentator in America, every single one of them knows this, that if you do not step out and say things that are radically pro-Israel, or if you are too quiet on certain narratives and they want you to be radically pro-Israel, you can lose everything. That's truth. That is a fact. I'm not feeling like I need to hide from that anymore or be afraid to say it, rather, is a better way to say it, because I've endured this for years. I'm just at the end of my rope. I have given so much rope here, and I am just done with it.
What's up, everybody? This is Super Mike 2164. Just make sure y'all press the little like and press the share button whenever you listen to this video. I just want to hit on a couple of subjects. I haven't came in and I haven't done no live or nothing like that, so I did want to upload just to touch on some stuff just that I was thinking about and looking through. We have several pressures that we have going on now. During the fall of the government of America, there's going to be pressure on this currency. And the money is how they do their business, how we all exchange value. People fight over money, people kill over money, people go to jail over money. Migrants want to come over here because of money. They've used the economic system as a weapon. Black people were kidnapped and our labor was stolen, for money. So, the breaking of this money is going to create a stress of change. Now, there's going to be opportunity, but we're going to have to change and adjust. Also, you don't know exactly when everything's going to collapse, so you can't just stop paying bills, right? So you got to still, one of the things that I notice here is the prices of all these different things going up. So it's the gas, it's the food. Now the gas prices should actually probably be like maybe $7 and in California, and probably like $5 everywhere else a gallon. They've been using the strategic oil reserves, and once that thing is depleted, now with the Israel and Gaza situation, that right there is making the Islamic world angry. because Israel decides to take it upon itself to go out there and start murdering. And as if, you know, now they can oppress those people in the Muslim world, because those are looked at as kind of bottom of the barrel people. You know, they're like, okay, y'all got to fight through it, so they can still do their business and everything. But when you start going out wholesale murdering people, kids, you just blowing their whole stuff up. And now everybody that does business with you, all these rich Muslims, all these these Muslim countries and stuff like that, they're going to be pressured now to physically do something, because right now, so like with the Houthis in the Straits, the Houthis in the Red Sea, attacking all the boats. You know, Iran is ready to block the Straits of Hormuz, which will send your gas prices up 40-something%, at least more. This stuff is creating this pressure. In Israel, because they're losing money, each one of them bombs costs more than your house probably. So they're losing money, and since they have so much business here in the U.S., what's happening is that these people are going to be trying to add to their products and to their fees so that they could recover money to keep bombing the Gaza people. You see what I'm saying? So all of this is going to be a strain on the finances, is because, and then of course, you know, we already know that the Federal Trade Bank, the Fed, the Federal Reserve, is owned by them. Those are their country people. The Balfour Declaration, Lord Rothschild, which was part of 1917, and we know that the Federal Trade, the Federal Bank, Reserve Bank, was started way back in 1913 on Jekyll Island off of Georgia by the Rothschilds and all these other, little people, these rich white folks, and mainly Jewish. But then we know the ADL was started at that same time by those same people. A lot of people didn't know that. They started both. They had the FBI, Secret Service, all that. But these are private entities, and they are conducting an ethnic cleansing campaign. And so there's a lot of stuff going on. And it's going to create pressure on all the people. They got a lot of us are used to being on the opposite side of these people. People like T. West, Minister Farrakhan, of course, a lot of us on just on the levels who just tell regular truth, but we don't have any kind of big notoriety. We're used to it. But some people are trying to take a little stand. Some people are taking a little stand because they won't stand for black folks, but they'll stand for somebody else. So I guess they been attacking Candace Owens, because I guess they got surprised for that. This woman had married a white man, even though a black man helped elevate her profile. But this is what she do. This is how she's kind of had no problem throwing black folks under the bus and not speaking up for black folks' rights. Every now and again, she seems to kind of inch her way back over to try to, keep that black card active, just in case, because she already know that her melanin affords her the right to get a little bit of defense from black people, which whatever, use it. Get, you know, because that's what's happening. Because right now she has some convictions. I guess she said something about the Jewish folks and what they like and what they care about, and now all of them are angry at her. You know, they're talking about how, you know, she's directing, you know, criticism towards them, and you know but she's not wavering on her beliefs, but she's talking to him. She's having dialogue, and she's the first one that I've seen that had an actual dialogue where a Jew actually came on her show to try to prove their point in that regard, calling her anti-Semitic and stuff like that. So, because usually they just call you that, and that's it for you. They call you that, and that's it. But they never debate with you. It's not debatable. You're nothing. You know, you're nothing in their mind. You're something like an animal or something. But this is the first time I've seen one come on there, so which tells me something's wrong, because they had to actually send somebody to go defend. We can't have her just keep saying that, and then if we just take her out, you know, how would that look, and that kind of stuff, especially after she, you know, just did this here. So, but she's still pushing, so we got to go out there and try to defend it. That's the first time I've seen them, you know, like Minister Farrakhan, we have a lawsuit, and they can't just say anything in a lawsuit in a court of law, because this is documented. They come with their little ideas. For example, if you listen to the guy who spoke to Candace Owens,
myths that are created of the Jew being identified with the opposite of God. This really codifies in 1144 in Norwich, England, what's called the blood libel. This is really important to understand, especially today in 2024. In 1144, a young boy is killed, and the local priest says that's because the Jews need to make their matzah with Christian blood. It's called the blood libel. It's blame the problems of other people on the Jew. It's just so you know, that's so ridiculous, not only just on its face, but we're forbidden from even having meat that has any blood in it. This is a Torah law. You can't have, that's why, you know, we can't have steak tartare. Okay? So this gets perpetuated in combination with a 4th century, what's called the Vulgate.
I'm sorry, did you say in 1140 this happened?
1144 in Norwich, England.
Okay.
Okay. This is after in the 4th century, you have something called the Vulgate. The Vulgate is
he talking about some quote of 1144 year 1144, somebody got kidnapped, and then somebody blamed something on the Jewish folks, and you know that was anti-Semitic. Then you know, he went through this whole spiel of, to me, it was absolute gibberish and ignorance. And Candace could have just destroyed him, but the guy obviously is backed up by a whole community who has immense power. And she's not going to change her beliefs probably, but she just waits. But the thing is, then he says the definition of anti-Semitic evolves. It can change. That's when she had to put her foot down, because I guess she has some kind of principle. She, you know, just said that she used her black card, because that's what you do, because you are black. And she says, I can't just say that the definition of racism changes. Otherwise, I could just create an organization like BLM and blame everybody and everything as racist. Call everything racist. So that was one time I seen somebody debate one of them. But then there's another black woman, which was debris over there on the hill. The Jewish congressman went to try to get all high and mighty over people defaming, Israel, and Hamas was, doing this and doing that, and Israel has a right to defend itself and things like that. And then she showed them how to do it. She was like, our people have never had anybody intervene for us to create a whole entire state for us, which we do need. We need a separate state, a separate territory for Black America. You see what I'm saying? That we actually control from top to bottom, and we can figure out our own problems. But these folks comes out here and complaining, and they had the whole world sit up there and create a dang on state for them. And look what they're doing with it in less than 100 years. Less than 100 years, look how they got that place. So this is these are the stuff that's going on right now. I don't know if they even flagged this little video just because I mentioned their names, you see. But also with Haiti. If we look at Haiti.
Well, February 7th is the date that Haiti started its modern democracy. I mean, February 7th, 1986, it expelled the 29-year Duvalier dictatorship. And this is the date that every 5 years, a new president is supposed to be sworn in to Haiti. So, of course, 36 years after Haiti started its democracy, it is once again in a transition. This is going to be the fourth time that the country finds itself in this situation. According to the U.S. and international community, President Jovenel Moise, who was assassinated in July, his term officially ends tomorrow. But instead of swearing in a new president, Haiti has to figure out the way forward. It currently has an interim prime minister. There is pressure for him to step down. There are a number of political agreements. So far, the political groups have not been able to reach any sort of power sharing agreement. And that has a lot of people worried, because at the end of the day, the concern is that this country that is already in crisis will just plunge deeper.
The Clintons and all of these people have all sorts of influence there. They've been sucking the land dry. But the great thing about all of this conflict, especially with Russia, Ukraine, and all of this different stuff, is the white supremacists don't have the resources to continue to subjugate everybody at the same time. Their breaking point is clear. Their breaking point is clear. So what they do is they use their media to talk crap and to defame people. So, that's what they're doing. Like, for example, in Haiti, we found now, we didn't fall for the barbecue as a gangster, the brother who kicked out that fake president in Haiti. We didn't fall for that. Saying that he's a cannibal. But now we see that he used to be a Haitian police officer. We also found that when they murdered the actual legitimate president of Haiti last year, a couple of years ago, that this guy interim says that he only will be there 30 months. 30 months ended in February last week. So of course the people, y'all won't leave on your own, we will kick you out. There you go. That's what happens. That's what should happen. You're supposed to rule properly. Okay? The rule of law dictates. Okay? And if you won't follow law, then lawlessness ensues. So it's proper. Now, if this brother Barbecue, former Haitian police, if he can get everybody on the unity front and get a force and start to control, then eventually he can kick these elites out, which are the Clintons and their crap. The white supremacists tried to get Kenya to send a force of arms of black people to go to help white supremacists maintain their white supremacy dominance over other black people. And the Kenyans most of the Kenyans are preventing it. There's one, I guess, Kenyan president who's a damn sellout who may need, something needs to probably be done with that guy.
This is their most visible leader, Jimmy Chirizie, nicknamed Barbecue, a former police officer whose coalition rules vast swathes of Port-au-Prince. It's attacked police stations and government buildings to successfully oust Prime Minister Ariel Henry. Now the United States and countries in the Caribbean CARICOM trading bloc are pushing for a transitional council made up of the country's political parties to appoint a new interim prime minister and lay a roadmap for elections. But Chirizie, talking to Al Jazeera, rejected that council.
We're not going to recognise the decisions that CARICOM takes. I'm going to say to the traditional politicians that are sitting down with CARICOM, since they went with their families abroad, we who stayed in Haiti have to take the decisions. It's not just people with guns who have damaged the country, but politicians too.
While some political groups are putting names forward for the council, seeing it as a way out of Haiti's current power vacuum, Chirizie says he wants revolution.
Now our fight will enter another phase to overthrow the whole system, the system that is 5% of people who control 95% of the country's wealth.
And that's no idle threat. Gangs control more than 80% of Port-au-Prince right now. Once a transitional government is in place, that could pave the way for a multinational police force on the ground in Haiti, funded by the US and Canada. Kenya's President William Ruto has said that his country will lead it. Chirizie, unsurprisingly, rejects that too.
The presence of Kenyans in Haiti will be an irony because the same people who gave weapons to people in poor neighbourhoods to rise up against the former government then lost control of those armed groups and are now appealing to a foreign force to save things. It is a mission that's failed in advance. It's a shame that William Ruto has to go in that direction.
For even attempting, for even considering helping America dominate another black country. I don't even understand what I could say to this type of treason to the black world. Okay? And, it's very important. It's very important that black people understand that we are black people and we see ourselves as black people. What are black people? People may want to say. Black people are the original family of the planet Earth. We are the non-grafted community. That's what we are. The non-grafted people. And that's pretty much it. Now, of course, we're going to look different. What that does include is people that may not consider themselves black, and we may not consider themselves black. Because like Australians or even East Indians or Native Americans, that non-grafted Native American ones, not the $5 ones. Pacific Islanders, things like that. So that's black. Black is not a nationality. It's global, okay? It's a global nation. I'll say it that way. But, of course, we have our land masses that we have these nationalities on and things like that. But, I just wanted to kind of come up with some of these points. These are some of the things that I wanted to touch on. I got to get more into studying the lawsuit that the Nation of Islam has brought against these people for the misuse of the term anti-Semitic. And the conflict with Candace Owens and this guy and his little stupid definition, that was so dumb. Oh my God, this is why they don't come defend themselves, because they look so ignorant and stupid. They're just going to use their money anyway to try to destroy you. She had one video, and like I said, I like the way Candace is doing. She's fighting back. She's like, go ahead and kill me, but this is all going to be out there, and then everybody's going to say, look what they did again. You know what I'm saying? So this guy, so-called Michael Jackson's rabbi, talking about, oh, I'm going to bankrupt Candace. So, you know, we can fight these people back, guys. You know, we can push back in the way that they push against us. And it's just proving that, you know, the day is turning. Stand up for ourselves, keep going. And, you know, as long as we try to do the right thing. Now, also, she went on the Breakfast Club. And you had Rosenberg angry at the Breakfast Club people for having her on. Rosenberg of some little stupid radio station over there. He's nothing. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, these people have been acculturated for generations to believe that they are absolutely superior. I mean, everybody stopped. Nobody's talking about their little tunnels that they had. Come on, man. You know, this stuff has to be dealt with because they're creating unrest and conflict on our planet. They're creating conflict on our planet. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.
The Jekyll Island meeting, where the Federal Reserve was shaped, was a gathering of representatives of the great dynasties of international wealth, including the Morgan and Rockefeller families, and because of Paul Warburg, a German Jewish man of great knowledge, his presence, Kuhn, Loeb and Company, and therefore the Rothschild family were represented. The secret meeting was a mini conference of the great powers of international finance. And you know what? It was a Jewish banker, Paul Warburg, who was the unquestioned architect of the plan to bring American finances under the control of a private central bank, as this was the pattern in Europe, playing its role in media and public relations. It was the New York Times, the paper Jews have had the most interest in. According to the ADL founder, Sigmund Livingston, that gave Mr. Warburg the platform to publish his plan in unparalleled depth and detail. Now, the Federal Reserve System is privately owned and is as much a federal agency as Federal Express is. Federal Express is owned by some private owners. The Federal Reserve is owned by some private families of great wealth. Now, America, look, we have a prayer that we say, "O Allah, I seek your refuge from anxiety and grief. I seek your refuge from the lack of strength and laziness. I seek your refuge from cowardice and niggardliness. And I seek your refuge from being overpowered by what? And debt and the oppression of men." Listen to this. In 1913, the debt was $2.9 billion. By 1919, a year after World War I ended, the debt was $27.3 billion. In the past 100 years, the U.S. federal debt has increased from $22.3 billion in 1922 to $31.5 trillion as of February 2nd, 2023. Now look at this. The country is now in an extremely vulnerable position with a federal debt that is so large it surpasses the value of the country's economic production. The gross domestic product, GDP, which as of today is just over 26 trillion. If the current and future obligations of Social Security and Medicare are included as part of the federal debt, the nation owes as much as $181 trillion. Now you know how you scream when your debts pile up? Scream with me for a minute. But look at this. The country is insolvent. And there is no way that America can pay this debt. So what keeps her is the fact that she has the most powerful military in the world. So every year that they have a budget, the biggest person or people that get the money is the military industrial complex. So now, the ADL, listen to this now, their task is to keep you from knowing about the Jewish people that own all the debt. Because now, if you say you know and you start talking, see, you're an anti-Semite. So I'm now the #1 anti-Semite in America. How did I get that distinction? Because of what I know and what I'm not afraid to say.